Hi, we're going to talk about Introduction to Information Technology. And this is going to be Model 1, Introduction. Before we start, some questions. Let's get to know a little bit about PGCC. Who knows who was Prince George, as in Prince George Community College? Which of all the Prince George in the world do we have the honor to have in our name? Okay. It was Prince George of Denmark and Norway from 1653 to 1708. And he was the husband of Anne, the Queen of Great Britain. That's the picture. He was a consort of the British monarch from Anne's accession to the throne in 1702 until his death in 1708. Prince George's County was founded on St. George's Day on April 23rd, 1696. That was still a British colony, so it makes sense to honor uh, royalty. And we start with a quote from our first president: the hotter the conflict, the greater the triumph. That's from George Washington. So the things that we fight harder to obtain, we will be more satisfied with the outcome. If it's something easy, it's not going to be so challenging. If it's something that's more difficult, that, at least for me, makes a lot of sense. As George Washington. Okay, the general objective of this course, uh, INT1010 is a survey course in evolving information technology and its relevance to individuals and society. Students, that's you, examine the categories of computer devices and different types of computer applications, software, and their uses. Here are some of the students' outcomes. You can read. Of course, all of this is in the syllabus. Then you can also watch this video how many times you want, and you can read it also in the syllabus. In this course, we will have 10 units or 10 modules. Introduction, this is the first one. Information systems, hardware, software, issues in computing. That's the first half of the course. So after issues in computing, that's module 5, we will have our midterm. And then we will talk about networks and communications, databases, people in information systems, web development, and internet privacy. And we will have our final exam. That's me. I'm Professor C. Luis Castellanos. I'm an IT professor, uh, full-time associate professor in PGCC. I'm also a Spanish instructor. I'm an e-learning expert. I have a BS and MS in systems engineering, a BS and MS in military science and arts. I'm an honoris causa doctor in education, and I'm a retired Army lieutenant colonel. My phone number for text messages is 571-308-2584. That's my email address that you can see there. And I am in CAT 229P. That's my office in in Largo campus if you wish to say good hello, goodbye, or whatever. If you have any questions, if you want to have a office hours in person, I'm gonna be there. So as I said, please only text messages as the professor. Usually, I'm not gonna pick up any phone calls, and of course, if it's an unknown number, there's less chance that I'm gonna pick that. So text messages will be willing to answer almost immediately. Evaluation for this course, we're going to have 3 discussions, 10 quizzes, 9 assignments, 3 tutorials, 2 exams, and 1 final presentation. You can see there what's the distribution of the evaluation. Assignments are going to be the biggest chunk over there. That's 34%. So try to pay attention to the assignment and, of course, to all of the activities that we're going to have in this course. Our grading scale is going to be from 1 or from 0 to 1,000. This is going to be pretty easy. A is going to be 900 to 1,000. B, 800 to 899. C, 700 to 799. D, 600 to 699. And below that's going to be an F. If you are in IT, you're going to need at least a C to be able to continue with other IT related courses. So try to aim at least for a C. At the end of each model, I will remind you the total points graded until that moment, but keep an eye on your grades, on the total grade in Canvas, and remember that this course is based on 1,000 points. You can see over there, that's your grades in Canvas, and you have to be aware that if you want the final grade, it has to have the 1,000 on the right. So you can know how much is your total grade. If it's not 1,000 at the right of the grade, then there's still some things that are missing in your grades. Some ground rules here. Read carefully and follow all the assignments instructions. Most of the times, there's people that call me, write me, or shoot me a message, and they don't understand assignment X. And I ask them back which step of the assignment you don't understand, and they don't have anything to say because they didn't read instructions. So first, read the instructions and try to understand them. The midterm and final exams will be available only on the exam week. They can't be retaken. You can use notes. All quizzes have 1 attempt. Late submissions are not graded in 100% basis. Don't wait until the last day to submit all pending assignments. Try to be on top. Try to do it gradually. Don't make them to the next the last day. Don't wait until the last day to speak up and say you can't handle the workload. Try to speak before the due date, before the course is over. Please speak up if you need to. At the beginning of each chapter, objectives are going to be disclosed so everybody knows the content and the outcomes. Usually, assignments are going to be graded 1 or 2 days after the due date. So if there's a due date, usually I'm not going to be grading before that due date. I will after the due date. At the end of the course, the top of the class, a student will earn a digital badge and it will be posted on LinkedIn. Please be polite, say good morning or good afternoon. If we have any activity, if we have any discussion, if we have any thing, any chat, uh, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? That's something good. Submissions are usually due on Sundays before midnight, just like Cinderella. If you don't submit your assignment before midnight, it will turn into a pumpkin. You will have to submit all assignments in the Canvas virtual classroom. If you submit your assignments through the direct messaging, the DMs, or as a comment, or through your email, they will not be graded. They need to be in the correspondent model to be graded. Why? Because, and you can see here to the right, if there's something that needs to be graded in the correspondent page, it will, Canvas will tell me. And you can see there that there's a symbol instead of the number of the grades. That means that it needs to be graded. If you send it with email, a text message, or whatever other thing, I'm not going to be able to see this, and I'm not going to be able to grade it. Okay. Your email is not going to be connected to Canvas. So please submit all your assignments in the correspondent page. These are the grades that I hope that you don't get. You can have an incomplete, withdrawal, never attended, that's NA, and failed to participate. I hope that, as I said, you don't follow in these categories. Remember to be responsible, be polite, be thankful, be respectful, be honest, be curious, think before you speak or write, and don't let the assignments pile up. Some recommendations, use a Windows-based PC for the assignments. It's going to be easier. If you don't have one, you can use the PCs in the campus open labs, or you can request a PC loaner. That actually is not a PC, it's going to be a laptop, but the program is called a PC loaner. And usually it's a Windows-based computer. Assignments should be submitted in Word, Excel, or PowerPoint format. For Chapter 7 assignment, I know it's far away, or at least it looks far away. You will need Microsoft Access in your computer installed. If you don't have Microsoft Office, you can obtain a free license with your PGCC student email. I shouldn't say this, but sometimes if you don't have Office, you can do your work in Google Drive and Google Docs, Google whatever, Google Sheets, Google Present, and you can save it as a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. And that's what you're going to upload in Canvas. But you should have Microsoft Office. Why? Because when you go to the real world, or if you are in the real world, you will notice that you are going to find Office in the offices. Act within the law. Never send a message that threatens, harasses, or offends any member of the community. Always give credit for words or ideas that belong to someone else. So that means no cheating. Identify yourself by name. Don't pretend to be someone else that you're not. Be courteous and respectful. Avoid using profanity, email discussion, assignments. Keep personal matters personal, or keep private matters private. Before you press send or post, read your text. If you decide to send a message, SMS, punctuate your text properly. Don't write all in lowercase letters. You're going to be shouting if you write all in capital letters. So that's normal writing with capital letters and lowercase letters. Abbreviations and emoticons can help convey tone or mood, but keep in mind that they were thin on some readers. There's a lot of people that don't know, believe it or not, what LOL mean. So try to uh, speak or write in a way that everybody will understand. For emails to me, here are 10 tips. Put your class section and subject line. Uh, I have around 100 students per semester, and well, a little bit more than 100 students. And I don't know which section every one of those 100 plus students are, so you'll have to tell me. So it's going to be easier for everything else. Use an appropriate standard greeting. Dear Professor C, good morning. Don't say, hey, you, hey, stranger. Keep the message to the point, write in standard English, sign your name at the end. Sometimes the email handle is C, whatever, DEE. Uh, your name is usually not there. So it's good if I know who you are and in which section you are. Don't ask me if you missed anything important. Of course, you have. All the assignments are important. All the classes are important. Don't share too much personal detail if you miss class. I don't need to know. Uh, if you are in a medical appointment, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know uh, details about that. If you'll be missing a class, if you're going to be missing a whole week or whatever, always ask what you need to do to keep current, to see how we can make up. Don't forward jokes, memes, or chain letters to me, and make readers want to respond. Write with professionalism and with good manner. Remember, there are no dumb questions. There are only dumb people who don't ask questions. And you're going to find that there's a lot of ways to reach me. You can reach me in person and at 229T. You can shoot me a text message. You can shoot me an email. You can shoot me a direct message. There's also a chat in the Canvas classroom. So if you are in doubt, if you find something that you don't know how to do it, just ask. If you have a problem with me, tell me, not everybody else. Thank you. If you're a procrastinator and don't turn in the assignment on time, don't throw the blame on me. I'm not guilty of that. If you miss the deadlines for the assignments, don't throw the blame on me. That's because you're not on top of your deadline. You have to be on top of your schedule. Just organize and pull yourself together. Make an agenda, make a to-do list, copy down. You have the schedule. In the schedule, you have all the due dates and all the things that you need to do. That schedule you will find in the Canvas classroom under syllabus. But there in syllabus, you're going to find the syllabus and the schedule. At the end of the course, don't come as an angel against the wicked, devilish professor because you failed. Just look at your academic performance, see if you missed some assignments or you didn't do well in some of them. Then we will talk. This is a good chart on how to stay on top of your workload. These are 12 strategies that can help you. Uh, they're pretty good. If you need a little bit more time, you can pause the video and you can see the description of all of these 12 steps or strategies that you can fulfill to stay on top of your workload. This is a cool video. It's about 6, 8 minutes. I want to share it with you. And it's about technology because this course is about technology. So let's see what we can find about that.
Science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke wrote 2001: A Space Odyssey in 1968 about a future human-crewed mission to Jupiter in the year 2001. Boy, was he ever wrong. We haven't even sent people back to the moon yet. The point is, predicting the future is notoriously difficult to accomplish. However, some things in the future are not so difficult to predict. For example, with the successful deployment of the James Webb Space Telescope, we can safely predict that many, many exoplanets will be seen for the first time. These exoplanets will be seen in the infrared light they give off, not in visible light. Their exoplanetary atmospheres will be identified according to the gases they contain. Signatures of life, like ozone, methane, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, will be able to be detected, if life is present. Civilizations living on any of these exoplanets will be able to be detected by the heat patterns of their cities. Again, if there are cities. There are many discoveries and inventions in laboratories and research think tanks at the present time that we will become aware of within the next 10 years. All this is not only very exciting, but also life-changing on a social and a personal level. Just like when computers and cell phones were rushed into production and worldwide distribution within 2 decades, which totally changed the way we manage our daily lives, there are things coming now that will make our present lives seem old-fashioned. Brightside's first prediction: one world language. All the peoples of the world will be able to speak to each other and understand each other instantly by means of wearable and/or implanted universal translator devices. Instant electronic communication systems began altering society with the advent of the telegraph and telephone in the 19th century. But personal communication between different peoples and cultures has remained stunted due to the differences in spoken language. That barrier is going to be confined to the dustbin of history within the next 10 years. One world language devices are going to be a real eye-opener and ear-opener. Artificial intelligence is the technology that will enable the one world language to emerge. Many more benefits of AI can be expected too. AI will enable society to do away with cash as a medium of economic exchange. It is possible that this will happen within the 10-year horizon we are forecasting. The difficulties society is currently experiencing with different monetary systems are not acceptable in a world that is not homogenizing, but harmonizing. Each person will be plugged into a worldwide economic system, optimally designed by AI. AI will begin to determine national decision-making within an international framework of cooperation, coordination, arbitration, and remediation. War will become a thing of the past, obsolete, counterproductive to human development and economic coordination. This can happen within 10 years. You may be beginning to doubt these predictions. Just hold your doubts for now. When astronauts first went to the moon and looked back and saw our beautiful Earth in space, humanity transformed itself. All the unifying developments we have seen since then can be related to and derived from that vision of ourselves in space. And speaking of space, there are 2 developments in telescope technologies that have a good outside chance of coming into play within the next decade. Liquid telescopes and ionized gas telescopes are entirely possible. Liquids in zero gravity form themselves into a reflective surface. No polishing or adaptive optics are necessary. A huge reflective surface can be created in orbit, so big that we could probably see the smiles on the faces of the exoplanet inhabitants, if they exist, and a million other things too small to see with the James Webb Space Telescope. No, don't laugh. NASA has already bought into this liquid telescope idea and is testing it in space right now. Ionized gas is also perfectly reflective. Before we talk about a crater on the moon, let's remember we have an astronaut mission to the moon already planned, called the Artemis mission, and it's almost ready to go. Soon you will see astronauts on the moon, and they'll be wearing brand new good-looking spacesuits. Back to what I was saying. A crater on the moon a mile wide could be flooded with ionized gas and electrified with generators to create a giant ionized gas telescopic mirror. Who knows what we would see with an ionized gas mirror on the moon? License plates on vehicles on exoplanets? If they have them. Okay, wait a second. I might be getting carried away a little bit. We want to know what we'll see in the next 10 years. I can see now why Arthur C. Clarke went so off the mark. Down here on the ground, we could see aurochs, dodo birds, and mastodons again within 10 years. We have already recovered the complete DNA of these extinct creatures, and with the science of gene splicing apparently picking up momentum, these species of animals, and probably some others too, should be able to be bred back into existence within 10 years or less. Each of these animal species was hunted by humans into extinction, so it would be a good act of atonement to bring them back. Not so sure about T-Rexes though. Concrete could be replaced within 10 years. It should be replaced ASAP, because it's not green. As concrete dries, it gives off carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas. The use of concrete in modern society accounts for 8% of all carbon dioxide emissions worldwide. Not only that, modern concrete loses its structural integrity after about 80 years and begins to crumble. We should learn from the ancient Romans. Roman concrete gets stronger with the passage of time. Professor Joseph Davidovits, the father of geopolymer science, has shown that ancient concrete did not dry in the sense that we know. It anneals. That means it dries without shrinking or giving off carbon dioxide. Currently, the formula for this ancient concrete remains lost, but geopolymer science is working hard to bring it back. You should start to see concrete going out and geopolymer building materials coming in within the next 10 years. That's a different look. Our clothing will change big time. Manufacturing techniques for nanofiber cloth are continuing to be perfected. What was only possible to make in small swatches of cloth a few years ago is rapidly turning into a technique for mass production. Soon, we will have seamless garments in very soft and very strong nanocloth. Not only that, but nanofiber production is meshing with microelectronics in truly revolutionary ways. Our clothing can become able to feel in such a way that our clothing becomes part of our bodies. Within 10 years, you should see this type of clothing showing up on fashion runways. We should also see big changes in transportation. Supersonic passenger jets promise to be commonplace within 10 years. For over 25 years, from the 1970s until the new millennium, we had the Concorde, a French airplane that could travel at over twice the speed of sound, Mach 2.02 to be precise. It was discontinued for safety reasons in 2003. Everything looks promising now for the return of supersonic passenger flight. United Airlines has placed an order for 13 supersonic jets to begin international passenger flights within the next 7 years. Automobile traffic is already changing. Electric cars, self-driving cars, and hybrid models are already on the streets. More changes are yet to come as gasoline continues to not be the fuel of choice. Hydrogen-powered vehicles are being developed experimentally at the present time. Will a safe new power source for cars, trucks, ships, trains, and planes find its way to the marketplace within 10 years? It's not the speed of technological development alone that is the determining factor. People's preferences are also a great driving force. Is that a pun? Yes, what we are seeing is a shift in consciousness among populations of people. The people want a future that is better, and they want it as soon as possible. This shift in public expectations is what is really driving invention, innovation, and changes in the market for transportation, and just about everything else. Our food is changing too. It has to. Land development, called urban spread, is stealing land that had been used for food production. Therefore, we are seeing changes in our farming. Vertical farming, as urban farms are called, is going through the roof, literally. The science behind vertical farming is called hydroponics, growing food in liquid rather than soil. Agriculture schools across the globe are immersed in hydroponics, figuring out how to increase nutrition, reduce the cost of food production, and increase its appeal to our palates. Our oceans are overfished by developed countries. Fish farming is becoming essential. Recently, Friends of the Earth issued an aquaculture report that strongly criticized some current fish farming practices, while making a series of great recommendations for the improvement of fish farming. Things look good for industrial-level fish farming, both in containment tanks in the ocean and on land. The good news is that the fish are cooperating admirably by staying healthy and reproducing splendidly. It just may be that they do better when they don't have predators stalking them all the time. So, hold on to your hats, Brightsiders. The future is coming after all. It looks good from here. Lots of career openings in new fields, innovations coming into the marketplace, and new products that will create new lifestyles. But I haven't got a clue as to what kind of hairstyles we'll see in 10 years. That's going to be totally up to you.
Okay. For model 0, it could be before we start, and it's that way in the Canvas classroom. We have 2 activities. Present yourself, that's a discussion board activity, 10 points, and a screening test. That's also 10 points for a total of 20 points. For the discussion board, just open the discussion board and type in your name, one study technique that you are going to use, your Microsoft Office experience, a fun picture, some important stuff that you want to share, and you have to reply to 2 classmates. There's a video, there's material there for study techniques that you can relate to. And the screening test is how much do you know about IT? And it doesn't matter how much you get on the test. If you take it, it's going to be 10 points. It's more for if you want to bypass this course. If you have more than 50 points, you can take the IC3 certification test. That's about around $200. And then you can bypass this test. You have to take the IC3, and that's a thing that you have to coordinate with the coordination with the department office in the CAT building in office 119. Okay. For the first chapter, you have 2 activities. You have a plagiarism test. You have a course with 6 models, which you have to finish and approve. Each approved model is going to be 10 points. And you have a Word document, 20 points. That's going to be a proper use of AI, artificial intelligence. You're going to do that, and you're going to upload both documents. The Word documents, you're going to upload them in the Canvas classroom. That's 80 points for chapter 1, plus the 20 we had before. That's 100 points for chapter 1. If you have problems with the LMS platform with Canvas, you can shoot a message to elearning@pgcc.edu. That's the textbook that you're going to be using for this course. And also you can find all the slides in a WordPress page. It's lcint1010.wordpress.com. And you can find that also in the home page. At the end of the home page, you'll find that. And you're going to be seeing there all the slides of this course. Remember, when sending me an email, please send me your name and section. Don't call me. Just send me a text message, an email, or a Canvas DM. Don't send assignments by email, text message, DMs, or as comments, or in the announcement page. Assignments must be in the proper place so they can be graded. Focus on the due dates. Be sure to have Microsoft Office installed in your device. Be sure to write down the sources or references or replies, and ask if in doubt. If you have any questions, then please let me know through all the channels that I have open for you, and I will soon be answering uh, any question, doubt, recommendation, suggestion that you may have. Next chapter, it's going to be number 2, model 2, information systems. I hope that we will uh, learn a lot in this course. And of course, again, if you need something that I can give you, please don't be shy. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Just ask. Thank you very much. And Godspeed. And I hope that you approve, that you pass, and that you will learn a lot of things about technology in this course. Thank you very much, and we will see each other soon.